welcome to my YouTube channel. As you all know that we are working with library management systems, and in previous video I have already shown you how to design the login form, how to design this dashboard, and how to design this add new book form. Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to backend code for this one. Now here you can see this. When I click on this save, when I click on this cancel, nothing is happening. So what I want is when I click on this, the data from these text box and this data in picker needs to be stored into the database. So how to do that? For that, first what we need is we need a table in that we can insert data. Okay, so try to understand with a real-time example. If you want to store water, then first what you need is some container in which you have to put the water. In the same way, we have to create a container that is table in that we can insert the data. So let's start with the database first. Okay, so let me just close this. Okay, so here we have this. Now let me move to the database. Here you can see this. I'm using this Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, and just pause the video, and first you have to create this one, execute this one into your uh, database. Okay, so this will create a database name with library, and after that you have to create a table, that is create table new book, and this is BID, that is the unique ID, and it's a primary key. This is identity 1 comma 1 is this is written here to auto increment it by 1 always. Okay, so B name is the book name, book author. In the same way, let me just show you. Let me just start this and this one. Okay, let me move here. Let me just show you. Here you can see this. We have book name. Here you can see this one. Book author name. So here we have the second one. Book publication, third one. Book date, purchase date. So this one is fourth one, purchase date. Book price, that is this one, and book quantity. Okay, so we have this. Just pause the video and execute this query into your database. First you have to execute this. This will create your database. After that you have to execute this one. I will put these line of code into the description. You can copy it or just pause and execute this. So I'm just assuming that you have executed this query, and now let me move to the designing part. Okay, so let me move here. First thing what we need to do is we need to change the name of these all text boxes and buttons as well. So let me change the name of these text boxes. Okay, so what we need to do is just right click on this, go to properties. In properties you can change the name. So you have to, here you can see this is the name. Change this one to txt book name. Try to write some name with which you can uniquely identify this text box. Okay, so this one to txt author, this one to txt publication, this one to date time picker. We have only one date time picker, so just leave it as it is. After that, book price, so txt book, just leave this price, and change this one to txt quantity. Hit enter. Okay, so we have changed the name for these all text boxes, and we have to change the name of these two. So let me just change this one to btn save and this one to btn cancel. After that, what we want is when I click on this save button, the data needs to be saved into the database. For that, just double click on this to generate a click event. Just double click on this. After that, we have to take all the values from these text boxes into variables. So how to do that? For that, first thing is what? Name. So let me just take a variable b name, that is book name, and we have to store data into this book name. From where? From the txt book name, and from this is actually the text box name, not the containing text. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to extract the data from that text box. So txt book name dot text, and when you write this, the data from that text box will be visible into this. So you can also check that like this, int s equals 5. Let me just add a breakpoint here. just start this. Okay, let me just show you that how the data is. Okay, so let me suppose the book name is Java or core Java. When I click on the save button, here you can see this. When I hover on this B name, here you can see this. It contains Java or core Java. Here you can see this. Java or core Java. It means that the data from the text box is now into this variable, that is B name. And if I remove this text, so let me show you what happened if I remove this text. It doesn't show any error, but okay, so it's showing an error. Let me just start this. Okay, so we have to actually mention this one. Let me just remove this and do same for the rest of the text box and datetime picker. So second one is, let me just check what is the second one. Book author name and book publication. So book author name is equal to txt book author dot text, like this. We have to, so we have something error with this one, so let me just, okay, so now it's fine. So next is string book author, after that publication, so txt publication dot text. So here you can see this, it's showing error that cannot be convert. Here you can see this, it's system dot windows dot form dot text box to string. Here you can see this, we cannot convert this to string, so that's why dot text is used to convert this one to string. Okay, so fourth one is what? Fourth one is datetime picker, that is book purchase date. So we have to take this one, date equals datetime picker. After that, what we have is price. If you have not watched my previous video, then I will suggest you to first watch my previous video and after that continue with this one. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get updated with our new content as well and with new projects. Okay, so price is actually integer type, so we have to take actually what? Int 64. Okay, so int 64 because of the size is much more larger than it can handle. Okay, so after that we cannot directly insert this value from this text box to here because the value from the text box is in string format, so we have to convert this into this integer format. So for that you have to write like this, int64 dot parse, and in this you have to write txt dot price dot text and just close this. In this way you have to write. In the same way we have to do for quantity, QAN is equal to int 64 dot parse. In this you have to write txt quantity dot text. Now we have all the values into these variables. So after this, what we want is we want to make a connection with the database. So for that we have to write SQL connection. Here you can see this, a small pop-up is here because we have not included the library. So when I include the library, here you can see this, the color of this line is changed. So you can manually write this or you can do the same way I have done. Here you can see this system.data.sql client. Okay, so after this what we need to do is we need to create a object, that is SQL connection object. So for that con equals new SQL connection. After this we need to pass the connection string dot connection string, and here you have to write the data equals. In this what we have to write is just you need to copy, just go to your database, that is Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, just click on this file and connect Object Explorer, and here you have to copy this stuff and you have to do one minor change, that is, let me just show you. you have to just add one more slash here, otherwise it will show error. Okay, so you can see this. After this, you have to write the database name. So my database name is library. So here you can see this. Here I have executed this query, create database library. Okay, so after executing this, you have to select library from this one. Here you can see this. I have selected the library. Here library is visible. By default, it is selected master. So you need to make sure that you have connected with this library. Okay, so now after this, you have to write integrated security equals true. T needs to be in capital letter, and after that you have to close. Okay, so connection string is completed. You have to just write this line, and after that you have to type SQL command. You have to create a SQL command object. So for that you have to write like this, new SQL command, and after this you have to pass the connection string. So connection is equal to connection object actually. And after this, what we have to do is we have to actually open the connection, because we are going to insert the data. So there is nothing is coming back from the database. So we have to execute actually execute no query. Okay, so let me just show you connection dot open, and this we have to open and close the connection as well. And after that we have to pass the command text. So command text equals, what we need to do is we need to insert the data. So insert into where the table name. So my table name is new book. So here you can see this. Make sure the small and capital letters. So N is capital and B is capital as well. So let me just paste it here. And after that you have to mention the column name. Okay. So in the first column we don't want to insert the data because it's a primary key and it's auto incremented. So we don't need to insert data here. Okay. So what we want to do is we have to insert into these columns. So let me just copy this and paste it inside this one. You have to manually write this one. And after that, what we need to write is values. So the values are in these variables. So we have to mention the variables. For string, we have to write like this. If we have the string, so we have to write like this. Here you can see this. Okay, so first single quotes, then double quotes, then 2+, and then again double quotes and single quotes. Within this you have to mention the variable. So first variable is what? Bname. When you write, it will automatically pop up. Here you can see this. After that you have to add a comma, and after that you have to add the same stuff like this. Within this 2+ sign, and within this book author. The same way we have to do for the rest, not for the price and quantity. Okay, so make sure that publication. After that we have the date time picker, that is also in the string format. So date time picker, sorry, so what is the name? Let me just check. Date actually. And after that what we have is, after publication we have date, and finally we have price and quantity. Okay, so for integer type you have to just put double quotes directly, and within that 2+ sign. You have to just leave the single quotes. Okay, so let me just type price, and the last one is the double quotes. You have to write quantity like this. Just close this double quotes, and this one. Here you can see this. Just pause the video and just write this stuff. Don't forget this double quotes at the last after this closing bracket. Okay, so now we have done with this, and after that what we want to do is we have to execute the query. So for that just enter, and you have to write cmd dot execute no query like this. After that this query will be executed. It means that data will be inserted, and after the insertion what we need to do is we need to close the connection. So con dot close. and save this. After this data insertion, what we need to do is we need actually confirmation that data is inserted. So how to do that? So message box dot show, and in this you have to write one thing, that is data saved, and the message box name will be success. So you have to write like this, and this is a message box buttons needs to be only one, that is OK. And after that I want message box icon, that will be information, and just close this, and just let me just start this and let me show you. So add one thing, so book name will be like something open source, and book author name will be IBM, suppose something, and book publication, okay, publication needs to be XYZ publication, and purchase date will be to the date as well, and book price will be 3000 each book, and quantity will be 24. Before saving, let me just execute this query and show you in the database what we have. Actually here you can see this, we have only 3 books right now. Let me just execute the query, save this. So we have some errors. So SQL argument exception occurred in DLL, so keyword not data is supported. Okay, so there is a sorry, so we have to actually write data source here. So just save this and execute this once again. And PHP, okay, sorry, PHP book author name will be php.pyx, like this, XYZ publication, date will be to the date, price will be 2500, and book quantity needs to be 26. And when I click on the save, data is saved, click on OK, and when I execute this once again, you will see this PHP is here, php.pyx xyz publication. Now we have the data. Oh, here you can see this, now save button is working properly, but still we have some issue. What is that? After the completion, what I want to do is I want to clear these text fields. So how to do that? Let me just show you. Let me just close this one. So after that, when user click on OK, we want to clear the text box. Okay, so after, you have to just mention the code after this message box. So what we need to do is just txt book name dot clear. Either you can use this method or you can set text is equal to null. So txt author dot clear, txt publication dot clear, txt price dot clear, txt quantity dot clear. So these stuff is here. Okay, so now let me just show you one more stuff, is that when I suppose we have not entered anything into these text box and left few text box empty, and when I click on this, what will happen? This will generate a exception, that is cannot insert the null value. Let me just click on this. Here you can see this, our project is crashed. So we have to take care of this one too. So for that we have to check the condition, that is if text box author or text box book names dot text is not equals what? Null. So this is actually null. So you have to do this for the remaining text box as well, and you have to write here. You have to check for all. So you have to just copy this, and you have to write the txt author and paste this one like this. You have to just write txt book name price. You can see this. We have book name, book author, and after this what we have is book publication, and after that we have to check for txt price and quantity, txt quantity. Okay, so you have to add a bracket here. You can see this. In the else condition we can mention fill the text box. Okay, so you have to write message box dot show, and you have to write empty text box cannot, empty text box not allowed, empty field. Let me just write this, not allowed. Okay, so let me just name this message box error, and after that message box button dot OK, and after this message box icon dot error or warning. Just let me warning. Okay, so let me just change this one to warning and save this, and just try to execute that once again. When you click on this, empty fill not allowed, and our project is still running. So if you fill these stuff and if you still click on this, it will show like this. When you still click, it will still show. So finally when you enter something, this will be completed. So now the stuff till here is done, so we have to go for this cancel. So what I want is, when I click on cancel, I want to close this form. So for that you have to just double click on this, and you have to just write this dot close, and this will close your form. So here we have one more stuff, that is you have to ask for user that are you sure you want to do, because closing this form will be delete your data. So let me just show you what will happen if I directly use that button. So just click on this. Suppose you have written some data already filled and you click on this by mistake, then these data will be deleted. Okay, so when I click on this, here you can see this is closed, and when I reopen it, these text fields are empty. So the software needs to be asked from the user that are you sure you want to cancel, because this will delete your unsaved data. So just cancel this. Let me add that stuff. So in the same way I have shown you message box dot show, and here you have to write this, are you sure this will delete your unsaved data. Okay, so this is quite large message, so let me just cut this one and paste it as a name of the text box, sorry, name of the message box, and after that message box icon button, actually message box button, I need two buttons, that is OK or cancel, and message box icon needs to be warning, and we need to actually check that if user click on OK, then this code needs to be excluded. Here you can see this, I have put this line of code into if condition, so you have to write this equals to dialog result dot OK. When user OK, we need to use this one. Okay, so let me just show you. When I start this, when I click on this, here you can see this will delete your unsaved data. When I cancel, nothing will happen. If I click on OK, this will close this application. Okay, so that's it for the today's video, guys. For the next video, just tap the I button upside, and in the next video I'm going to show you. Let me just show what I'm going to show you in the next video. The next video I'm going to show you how to design this new book form. Okay, so how to design this all stuff, how to design these buttons as well. Here you can see this. We have added this book today. So I will show you each of these stuff in the next video. So just stay tuned with us and please subscribe and hit the bell icon, and also like this video and give your feedback in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.